Flosstube. You have joined Cindy's Adventures in Stitching, and it's been a long time since we filmed, but that doesn't mean we aren't going to reboot and start all over again. So I'd like to begin with showing you a finish. It's not a fully finish, but it is done. I'm done stitching on it, and it is called Off We Go, To and Fro, See a Spot, Gotta Stop. And the name of the designer is Open Road Abode Needleworks. And the name of the chart is called Fun with Buttons. One thing I wish I would have done is ironed it really well before I put those buttons on, because I'll have to use my tiny iron to iron it once I'm ready to fully finish it. So that is done, kind of going along with a camping theme. I want to show you, this is called Happy Camper, and I started working on this, I believe it was the Steel City Stitchers retreat, and my celebrity friends from Pittsburgh and Oklahoma, which is Jean and Angie and Krista, gave this to me. They found the chart at Stitch Away last year and gave it to me. It was on the freebie table. So
I love that freebie table.
oh my gosh, yeah, it was great. And I want to give a special shout out to my newly found friend, Margie B., also from Pittsburgh, that I met at Steel City Stitchers. Her husband made this scissor holder, and he had made some for everyone in their stitching group, and he made one for me, and I was very touched by that and really do appreciate it. So thank you very much, Margie. Met a lot of great people at Steel City Stitch Retreat, Steel City Stitchers Retreat. So I was glad about that. So that's one whip. I have another one. This is Teresa Kogut. It's called Dance Party. And here's the chart. I started this one at the Primitive Gatherings Retreat last October. And I finished, well, I quit working on it at the end of October last year. I got to here. So I picked it back up again, and I'm working on the pumpkin head right now. And it really is a fun stitch. And there are so many companion charts that go with this. So I'll be doing more of them. One thing that I really do appreciate and love is when you get a project bag from someplace, and then when you see the project bag, it brings back the good memories of that experience or highlights the friendship that you have. And this project bag they gave us at the retreat at Primitive Gatherings. And if you get a chance to go to one of their retreats, I would do it because it was great. It's a beautiful place to stitch. The lighting is good. It's a small group of stitchers. People were very friendly, and given the chance and the opportunity, I will go back and do that again.
Road trip.
Well, speaking of road trip, this reboot is the beginning, episode 1 of series. We are leaving right away, as in tomorrow, for a trip that will take us coast to coast. We're going to begin our fun in Colorado. We're driving to Colorado. Well, actually the first night we're driving to Kansas. Then we're going to Colorado, Utah, Idaho, the coast of Oregon, the coast of Washington, then into Montana, Minnesota, well, North Dakota, Minnesota. I tell you what, I've really learned my United States geography because of this trip, which has been probably a good thing.
We're going to have a quiz on the state capitals.
That I did not memorize, but I have memorized our route, and I do know where the states are. So to say that I'm excited would be an understatement.
Oh, we go on from Minnesota.
Huh?
We go on from Minnesota.
Oh, yeah. So for Minnesota, we're going to go to the UP, of course. I mean, the UP is like one of our favorite places to go, of Michigan. And then we're crossing the United States border into Canada. We're going to pick up with a friend of ours that we met through the Teardrop people, Teardrop camper people. And then we're going to see Niagara Falls. Then we're going, are we going into Maine at that time, or are we going into New Hampshire?
So cross back into New York. And
okay.
Then I think we go across the bottom of Vermont into New Hampshire. And then the rally's in New Hampshire. And then we'll run over to Maine just so we can say we went to both coasts on one trip.
Have a little lobster roll.
We got to have that.
Yeah. And when he said rally, what he's talking about is we have really grown to love teardrop camper rallies. And it's tiny campers. A lot of them are bushwhacker, which is the name of our teardrop camper, but it doesn't have to be a bushwhacker. It can be any tiny camper. And when I say that I admire some of these ladies who are in their 60s and 70s, who are solo campers, and they carry, well, haul these trailers all across the country.
So
Tow, okay, that does sound better, I guess. Tow their campers by themselves all across the country. They hook it up, they back it up, they, if there's a problem, they try to troubleshoot what that problem is. It's amazing. And I'm not talking like these are ladies in their 20s and 30s. These are ladies in their 60s and 70s, and they're my sheroes, and they are whip ass women is what I also call them, because they have the stamina and the courage to do this, and they're having a ball. So we go to these rallies. We went to one in Texas in March. And that was quite a drive for us, and the weather wasn't very good. It was cold and rainy, but we still had a great time, of course. Met some interesting, wonderful people. And we went to North Carolina in July, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was in July. And again, met wonderful people from all over the country were there. And we are going to a rally in Oregon, Minnesota, and, or should I say Minnesota and New Hampshire, on our trek, on our adventure. So the stitching that I'm going to do along the way, I want to show you that. I ordered, when I knew we were going to do this trip, I ordered many charts from Thread Milk Designs, and it was the Statehood series. And I did finish one already. It's Alabama, and I'm just stitching the states that we've gone to. So I have finished this one. Can you see that okay? Hope my fingernails aren't dirty. I stopped
luckily, we're
getting
not showing mine.
I stopped getting manicures and pedicures.
You've been
So
out in the flowers.
I've been out in the flowers, I've been watering, trying to get everything ready to go. So I tried a new technique. I did not hoop this. I stitched it in hand to see if it would be any faster. I feel like I'm a pretty slow stitcher, and I've got so many to do that I thought I would try stitching in hand. So I'm not using a hoop, and I'm starting from the bottom right corner.
You had to face east.
I had to face these to know which was right and left. Hey, and I met a lady the other day who has the same issue. And she said she has to turn around and do it. Well, she has to face west in order to do it. But I thought, I'm not the only one. And I told her that really has a name. So,
Was that Amy?
no, it was a lady at the doctor's office.
Oh,
Yeah. So anyway, this is Alabama. So this one's done. I am currently working on North Carolina. Oops, don't want to show that. Currently working on North Carolina, since we were there this summer. And this is what I have done. And I've decided on a little project like this, I like stitching in hand. A hoop, especially a Q-snap, is kind of heavy, and I have problems with my left thumb. And so, you just hold the fabric. You don't have to hold the hoop, of course, because there isn't one. Now, I wouldn't want to do a big project like this one, because you've got a lot of fabric that you have to hold, and I think that would be cumbersome. But for a small project, I'm sold. These are the charts I'm going to take with me of the different states, not all of them, of course, that we're going to be in. And I'm going to start with Indiana just because I feel like I should. That's our starting point. And I don't have Kansas. I think maybe I didn't order Kansas, to be honest, but we'll begin in Colorado. And like I said, all the rest of the states that we'll be going to in the Northwest, and start our way back across the country. And beside that is my backing fabric. I think I ordered enough, or I bought enough. This will be on the back of the pillows. It's the states. and I'm stitching it on.
Here comes Jim.
Yeah, I know. I hear him. There he goes. He made it.
High speed pass.
Yeah. I am stitching it on 32 count Lugana Silver Moon, and I actually got this from Lynn's of Wisconsin, and they do mail order. So if I run out, I can always order more. But since I'm stitching in hand, it takes less fabric because you don't have to wrap it around a hoop. That's another advantage of stitching in hand. So
how many times you stick yourself when you're stitching?
actually, not that much. I will say that I'm probably not the fastest stitcher, even stitching in hand, because I'm just getting used to it. But I think I'm going to like it, like I said earlier. So that is what I'm going to be working on as far as while we're traveling. But, however, I cannot stitch in the car, but I can English paper piece. And I want to show you, I'm working on a grandmother's, I think it's called Grandmother's Garden. So these I haven't counted, but I would bet that I have 20 of these done. But I got a whole lot more to go to make a full-size quilt. And this is, I mean, this is just an example. They're not all the same by any means. And I thought, I've got to make a decision. I'm either going to put them together like that, which I decided I'm not going to do. I'm going to put a plain, well, I didn't lay it out, but I'm going to put plain cream colored in between all of them. And that's going to be a lot of gluing and a lot of stitching, but I think that would look the best.
Got a lot of miles to pass, so
I know we have a lot of miles to pass. So I'm going to take my Sue Daily turntable with me. And I tell you what, this week I have been cutting fabric like a mad woman. So I have lots of dark fabric cut, and I have lots of light fabric cut, and then green as well, different types of chartreuse and then the green. So I've got lots of combinations to go from. And I wanted to share with you a product that my friend Diane turned me on to, and I really like it. And it's called Tack It Easy.
is that gray around the edges, Diane?
Yeah, she'll love it that you said that. But it's fantastic. So you put your fabric down face down. Let me take it out of there.
So you actually do this while you're bouncing around?
I can do it while I'm bouncing around in the truck. And you put your fabric face down, and you grab your paper, and from paperpieces.com I ordered a bulk pack, which is 1,200 hexagons, and you get your glue stick.
It's a lot of hexagons.
It is, but that quilt's going to take a lot. So then you put your glue on the cardboard, or not cardboard, but heavy paper. And then when you do that, oh, I don't have my glue, but anyway, when you do that, that stays, and then you glue that part, tack it down and I usually run my finger over it, and then you glue that part, tack it down, and you go all the way around. And it saves your hands from getting full of glue and really sticky. And it's a little bit faster, I think, than doing it the other way. So I'm going to be gluing like crazy. And if the road is a good road, which varies from state to state, we have discovered.
Indiana's got the second best state roads in the country.
So says who?
The internet.
I think I disagree with that. And I can even sew a little bit while I'm in the truck. Can't do it for a long time. It's a little bit tedious, but I can glue till the cows come home. So I have plenty to keep me busy. And then I have one more thing to share, and my birthday is going to happen while we are out.
No, you're not getting anything else for your birthday. You've done conned me out of enough stuff. I draw the line.
But it's my birthday month, and it starts tomorrow. It's kind of like Advent.
No, it's not. You started
No.
getting stuff in July.
And then you forgot that you'd given me
I
something,
know.
so
I
then
do it
you
every time.
I know.
And
Too
you don't
bad.
dare remind me.
Heck no, I'm not going to remind you. So I want to show you what my new start's going to be.
Well, I thought you were going to show me your new cabinet.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's right behind you.
I know.
Why don't you show them? Why don't you turn around and show them the new thread cabinet that you got me for my birthday? I don't have it done as far as organizing my thread in here yet, but we got this, actually, Sam got this thread cabinet at the Ohio Valley Antique Mall. And it's kind of rare that you find one. It's in great shape. The glass is good. Even this part down here is really good. And he completely surprised me. He had a fellow teardrop owner grab it for him. She was kind enough. Her name is Mara. She's kind enough to go to the antique mall and brought it to their house. And then we went to Cincinnati yesterday or last weekend, and he said he had a stop to make, and we pulled in the driveway, and I saw this thread. I saw the side of it, and it has a star on the side, and I thought, is that an ammo case? But it wasn't. Turns out it was a thread case. And I really like it. So I'm going to put my overdyes in there. I think Sam's not, he doesn't know it yet, but he volunteered to make me little cubbies, rows, and then
I'll get right on that.
squares. I know you can do that in your spare time.
Yeah.
But I mean, all my overdyed is in here, and it's just kind of a mess. So I threw it all in this basket that my sister Peggy made me, and there you go, voila. My birthday start is going to be by the blue flower, and the name of the chart is Forest Home. And it kind of fits for us. We have a little deer blind stitching shed. It's just a deer blind 2 weeks out of the year. I keep telling Sam he doesn't really get a lot of rights on how it's going to be decorated because it's only going to be his inhabitants for 2 weeks out of the year. But I will be stitching over there all the time. So I thought this would be appropriate. Now, I think this is going to take me a long time. And I think that's okay because it's a birthday start and it's not necessarily intended to be done that quickly. So I'm going to be stitching it on 32 count mushroom Lugana, and I bought this when I was at Primitive Gatherings. And I tell you, if you are looking for a place to buy some fabric that's reasonably priced, I have found that to be the case at Primitive Gatherings. And they have a lot to choose from. Now, they don't have a huge variety, but they have a lot of what they have. So if you're looking to buy several pieces of the same thing, that's a good place to go. So I will be starting that in my spare time in the evenings.
I'm just starting to add this up in my head. You're going to be a busy little stitcher.
You know what? It would be a catastrophe if we went and I was sitting there, twiddling my thumbs with nothing to do. I don't like to do that. And I want to make use of the time in the car, especially just to sit there. I feel like that's such a waste of time. And I'm going to put this in this darling project bag that my friend Celeste or Julie or Nancy made. This was
You're
a
not sure which.
I'm not sure because all of them made project bags, but we went to Missouri and I went to a quilt retreat in Brunswick, Missouri. Had so much fun, met some great ladies, and they were all from the St. Louis area. And one of those three gals made this project bag, and I love the fabric, and it just seems appropriate because it's fall. So
I got to tag along too.
you did get to tag along and brought us margaritas one night while we were sewing late, and it was really fun.
I
Had a
was the
good
first
time.
man to attend.
That's what they said. You were the first man to attend, which is a little misleading because you didn't really attend by sewing, but you showed up. And we played the game right, left, center with
Holy
back
smokes, were they?
quarters,
You guys were loud.
and it was great fun. If you've never played that game,
I
and
was
you have
waiting on
the
the cops to show up, but then I realized The town was so small, it didn't have a police force.
Oh, I'm sure that town didn't have a
no.
police force. Yeah, they
You're-
rolled up the sidewalks at 6 o'clock.
You were safe.
Yeah, definitely. Reminded me a lot of Hamilton, Missouri. I didn't take any pictures of the town, and I really wish I would have. At that point, I wasn't sure whether I was going to continue with Flosstube or not, but then I kind of got the bug again, so decided that I wanted to chronicle our adventure going out west. So I don't think I ever said this. So this is like the coup de grace of the whole trip. We are going to visit different. Is
Drum
that your
roll?
drum roll?
That's the best I can do.
Okay. We're going to visit stitching stores and quilt shops along the way as we travel. Some will be a surprise, some are planned. Our first one will be Colorado Cross Stitch in Loveland, Colorado, and that will be on Wednesday.
Because they're not open on
because
Monday.
they're not open on Monday or Tuesday. So we're going to adjust what we do so that we can go there on Wednesday. And from there, then we're going to travel down Colorado and then move over to Utah. So we're going to take you guys with us, and we really hope that you will come and watch and enjoy it with us. So,
and if Cindy gets chased by a bear, I'll be sure to get that on film.
well, like you said, I don't have to be fast. I just have to be slower than you.
Exactly.
So anyway, thanks a lot for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I tell you, I've missed everyone. So with that, we're going to close with happy stitching.